Hello and welcome to my week 5 reflection. This week, the surprising discoveries for me was I was surprised by how much the U.S. education system functions as a conserving force, not just a place for learning facts. I think a lot of times school is seen as somewhere where you go to learn facts and kind of, just memorize something and then put it down on paper. But this was interesting to see that, it's not just that. There's a lot more to it. I also thought it was interesting how they talked about how schools don't teach literacy or job skills. They reinforce dominant cultural values like patriotism and historic narratives that maybe aren't necessarily true. I thought the idea that schooling contributes to hierarchies in the U.S. was also very interesting through sorting, tracking, and an access to different resources. This kind of changed my opinion, or more my assumption, that education is always a great equalizer. My critical analysis for the week, I thought that the conflict theory perspective made more sense to me. I think schools reflect and even reproduce social class divisions. I think a lot of times at school, you get separated into these groups or cliques that are many times based on your class or your race. For me, this personal reflection, it made me reflect on my own educational experience. It made me realize kind of how much my educational experience mirrored the system of sorting and how it shaped my view of success and failure. I can see how understanding these topics can help me be more empathetic in my relationships, especially with people who had different schooling experiences, whether that's people that had hard, poor schooling experience than me, or people that had richer, maybe private school experiences. It really shaped my opinion on how they've been brought up and what they've been taught and how that could be different from what I've been taught. My thoughts on the reading this week, I thought the crash course video did a great job showing how inequality is built into the structure of the school system. I like how it contrasted the ideal purpose of school with the real world, kind of what schools become, like the school to prison pipeline and the unequal funding that goes into schools. This whole week, it made me think more critically about standardization tests and whether they're measuring ability or if they're just measuring privilege. Thank you.